to achieve what you want to achieve, that it becomes sometimes unreasonable. Now, I'll tell you why I'm saying this. When I started my business, I decided to quit my job and go full time in my business. So before, I was 21 at the time, and my career before was in the catering industry. As any good Italian coming to the UK, what do you do? You know,
Yes. Good place to
but
start.
it's a good place to start. But actually, it was my professional career. It was not just something that I was doing for the sake of it.
Mhm.
I was managing Michelin star restaurants since the age of 19. Started working in a restaurant when I was 14 and absolutely loved it. For me, it was an art. I loved managing restaurants. And I received an offer to come to work here in the UK. That's why I ended up here. So when I decided to quit, I didn't have any like previous business background or any university degree. Uh, it was just, I'm going to start my own business. And I wanted to do workshop in schools for young people around personal development. That was the business that I wanted to set up. Now, at the same time, unfortunately, my grandfather died back in Italy. And my mom was very close to her dad. And I couldn't feel like, it was very tough for me being here, knowing that my mom needed support because she was back in Italy with my little brother as well, and still keep going with my life as like I'm building a business or starting out with stuff. So this is what I decided to do. I looked at my bank account and I only had enough money in the savings to live for 6 months um, without paying rent. I could pay food, I could pay travel, but rent was too expensive. So what I did for 6 months, I traveled back in Italy for 2 weeks to support my mom. And while I was working there, setting up my businesses online. And then when I was coming back here, I was sleeping in benches or I was sleeping in parks or
Oh
um,
my gosh.
yeah, it was the place where I spent most of my time was Costa Coffee in King's Cross and Pancras.
You gotta love a good Costa.
I
They're
well, I
good for
got,
that, aren't they?
they were so friendly, and because it's open 24 hours, they would allow me to stay in and not sleep outside because it also was December, which is not the best month to make this decision. Um, uh, I could have gone back and get a job, but I just felt that my priority was where building my business and supporting my mom, and that's what I did. It was tough. It was tough, but at the same time, it was an adventure as well
Yeah.
because looking back, I know that I can live with £5 a week. I can, but my life doesn't fall apart. And now I'm reflecting, looking at the situation we are in now. There is a kind of sense of peace and calm, knowing that I don't need much to live.
Yeah, it's like you've already experienced quite an amazing time in your life where everything's been stripped back and you already know, I will survive, we will get through this, there will be an end.
Exactly. And, subconsciously, I don't have a lot of fears around what's happening at the moment because I'm like, I had worse.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, wow, amazing. So one of the things that I speak to a lot of women about at the moment as well is that the fear of quitting that security of having
Mm,
a job and having that stability to set up your own business.
yeah.
And that's a very big obstacle for a lot of entrepreneurs. How did you is there a different way you would have done it now, or would you have done exactly the same thing, or what advice would you give people that are thinking of leaving that security and starting their own business?
Um, it,
Oops, sorry, I've just muted you. 1 second. Sorry.
I've unmuted
Sorry,
myself.
Simon, I
That's,
muted you. Carry
it's like
on.
it's like now that was boring. I don't want to hear it from you anymore.
Sorry. See,
It's
I
like shut
muted
up.
this. No, carry on, darling. Yeah, so yeah, what
So,
advice and what would you have done differently?
given the current situation, if I had to restart now, because it's a different the situation when we're living in this current moment. Mm, If I had the best thing to do would be having a part-time job to support yourself while building your business, if not full-time or part-time, because a business, I've realized, I mean, I've been in business now for 8 years, and having a business is like having a baby, um, uh, where you can't take to a baby. You gotta give. You gotta give them life. You gotta give them food. And what the business baby eat is cash.
Oh yeah.
That's their food.
Hmm.
So what happens is that if you don't have any money to support yourself, unless you have a good savings, if you have a good amount of savings, then is a good time to say, you know what, let me just focus on building my business. Without that, knowing and understanding that for a business to be fully sustainable, it might take 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Running a business is not a 6 month project.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of businesses start and stop, because people see it as a 6 month project, not as you know what, it might take me 2 to 3 years. So if it takes less, great. But if it's going to take me 2 to 3 years, what can I do in the meanwhile?
Yeah.
Another great thing is to, instead of maybe having a part-time or full-time job, is to have contracts. I had contracts for 4 years before my business partner, my salary and my business partner salaries could be fully paid. And then what I did is, in the meanwhile, reducing the amount of contracts I was doing in schools and replacing it with my own clients. But still, it's good to have an income that you don't have to fight for, if it makes sense.
That's it. And do you think it's quite important, especially when you start out, be focused on where you're going and what you want to achieve, but be open to other opportunities that might, like you say, like taking some contract work that are going to assist you and give you that flexibility to grow what you want to be doing?
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, it goes down to pride.
Mhm.
That's what it goes down to. It goes down to pride, and it goes down to, I don't want to show that I failed at this, that I cannot make it work on my own. And therefore, I'm going to make it 100 times more difficult for myself,
Mm.
because my pride is hurt. And that's what was happening to me for a
Mm.
number of years. And that's what's happening to a lot of people. Well, right now, let's say that my business falls apart. I will not have any problem to go back, find a job, work there, come back and rebuild my business. There will be nothing in my confidence that would say, oh, you are a failure. And that's a big thing I want to say, is that sometimes, like, you're not a failure if you are smart and say, what do I need? I need a roof over my head and food on my table. That's what I need.
Mm.
So let me just have those expenses covered, so then I'm not in a survival mode,
Mhm.
and then I can be there of service.
Mhm.
Because what
Yeah.
happens is that when you're in survival mode, then you're ending up getting like clients that you hate working with, underselling your services, and then resenting the work that you're doing and working for peanuts.
Mm.
I'd rather keep my prices and have another contract to support me.
Mhm.
No, fortunately, we are not in this position. The business made a few millions over the years, but um, I would not have any problem going back and making that choice again and say, you know what, business is folded. Let me restart again. Or what do I need to live? So then I don't have to compromise with my value.
Absolutely. So tell us a bit more about GTEX, what you're doing now and why it is you're passionate about what you're talking 8 years on from
Yeah.
being homeless and living on £5 a week. So fast forward to now, what is it you're doing at the moment and what is it you love about what you're doing?
Business has three sides. We have three businesses within GTEX. One is the training that I manage, that I run in turning experts into authorities. I'm going to tell you a bit more about why I'm passionate about it, why that's the thing that I love the most doing. The second with part, which is managed by my business partner, is a sales training for recruitment agencies and recruitment companies, which work in the corporate sector. And then we have a small portfolio of investment where we invest in businesses to help them grow and then sell at some point. So they are straight investments to grow and sell in terms of businesses. And we take a percentage in a share and give a cash injection or training and support. Now, the part that I love the most, the one that I'm in charge of, is the turning experts into authorities. And the reason why I love doing this is because when my business partner and I started, no one knew us. I mean, I came from a different country. English, I could barely speak English. All I could say was, no, would you like your steak a rare or medium rare? Can I change your fork or knife? That's all I could say. And when I started delivering courses to young people or courses to adults, I had people stopping me throughout my presentation saying, can you repeat again? I don't really understand what you're saying. So that was I was starting. And because I was very young and people didn't know me, I found it difficult, incredibly difficult to get clients. Very, very difficult. And there was a lack of trust. It's like, okay, this like 21, 22-year-old kid, I
Mm.
couldn't even have a chance to show what I could do because I saw that there was a barrier of, who are you? Never heard of you before. Cannot find anything about you online. Cannot see anything about you. And the second thing that I was really annoyed and frustrated is that, you know, when you're going to a lot of networking events and um, you're just like talking to hundreds of people to find that one person it actually is worth talking to. It's like, no disrespect, but we have all been there. And I said, there must be a better way. I can't keep building my business in this way. That's, I think, is just rubbish. And the things change when I decided to double down on the events we were running and speaking and writing for publications and doing a lot of work around visibility. Because suddenly I could tap into new audiences that never heard of me before. So in terms of like getting more exposure, I wasn't just limited to my consistent inner circle.
Mhm.
And then I found that people started seeing me in a different light. No, every time I was doing a presentation, whether it was on stage and online, instead I was almost like networking with everyone in the room at the same time. And so the conversation that I had were more relevant because then were people coming to me and say, oh, I would love to talk to you about this. Instead of me finding that one person who was talking to, the people that want to talk to me, they were coming. Way more efficient like
Yes.
that. But also started writing for publications and going into appearing on podcasts. And I could see that people suddenly started taking me seriously. When people were Googling my name online or the name of my company, there was something that they could show. And it wasn't just me talking, say, I'm good. There were other people saying, listen to this person. And literally in 1 year after we started implementing this strategy, and, you know, I'm not saying it's not work, it's hard work because you got to find a gig and get the interviews and get the publications. But our company went from making like £20,000 a year to 120,000. That was our first six-figure year. And literally that was the switch to then going to $250,000 the year after and $250,000 the year after and so on. And I believe that played a big part.
Mm.
uh, and even in connecting with a lot of other influencers or creating joint ventures and partnerships. So that's why I'm passionate about what I do, because I'm working, I see there are a lot of people like myself where we're good at what we do. We just need other people to see it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what sort of some key advice, some nuggets that you could give people watching on helping their visibility that you said you did, especially right now with it, we're all having to move to digital at the moment. What advice would you give?
Yeah, absolutely. So to let everyone know, we're going to do a power hour. Is that going to be next week? With the private group. So if you're watching this, you're not a member. This I'm going to expand on what I'm talking now in the members area. So get your membership. God, it's such I mean, known Angela, the Women Business Club, for a few years. Did a lot of talks around. Is an incredible club to be part of. So make sure you get your membership if you don't have it. So then we can be together next week for the full class on this. Um, Now, there are four things, as I said, that are really important in order to raise your visibility. One is speaking and getting, whether it's online or offline, delivering presentations to other communities. What I'm doing now, it is one of the best things you can do for your business. The second thing is to write on publications. if you are starting out, start with the smaller publications. If you are already more established, go for the bigger ones. No, I'm an official contributor of Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, Huffington Post, and other publications. It makes a difference, not because I don't think I ever got a client saying, "Oh, I found you on Forbes. I want to work with you." It's not about getting client, but I saw how different the level of conversation is with the people that are interested in working together.
Do you
The
think
level of
it's almost like a pedigree, if
it
you
does,
like,
it does,
because you can say, as seen on, or here are some of my articles
it does. It's perception,
connecting you.
right?
Yeah, it's connecting you with bigger people.
Like, what's the difference between someone that charges £10 or someone that charges £10,000 for the same service? And they might be exactly having the same level of skills. They might be, the person who charges £10 might be even better than the person who charges 10,000. But now pricing is about perception. And why do we pay, Whole Food Market? If you go there, you pay £10 for a crusade, and or, or another kind of chain, and you go to a local store and then you pay £1 for the same, and it might be coming from the same farmer. It's just that the company with the highest level of PR and visibility and credibility can also charge higher prices, and people will feel more comfortable to spend higher prices with them because there is that element of trust.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like a gamble. And in particular, if you're in the service space, it is important that, and right now, if you're looking at these timings in which now, in times of crisis, of where people don't know who to turn to, they're going to turn to people that they can say, okay, if I give you my money, I can see that is spent well and I can trust you.
Mhm.
Another thing that you can do to build your profile and visibility right now is going on podcasts. Huge is it gives you access to new audiences. It gives you access to, it also creates backlinks to your website. It creates a trail of information on Google. Someone types your name and you've been interviewed on that podcast. Even if that podcast has been listened by 3 people, it's still there on Google.
Yeah, it never goes away. That content is always there, and you can
It's
always reuse it, can't you?
absolutely, exactly. And then the other thing to help you create visibility is doing joint ventures and partnerships. So looking at what are the people that are in your space that you can collaborate with,
Mhm.
where to create the partnerships with them. So these are the 4 things, which I'm going to expand on the Power Hour and the masterclass I'm going to do next week. But it is about speaking, it is about publications and media, it is about podcasting, and it's going to be about creating joint ventures and partnerships. And that's what we help people with and experts with our courses. We have a course called the Profile Builder and other courses, and this is the focus of what we work with our clients.
So if anybody wants to connect with you then, Simone, I want to learn a bit more about your services and things, where are they best going to?
So there are a few things. You can see, well, the website on my screen right now, which is gtex.org.uk. That's my website. You can find a lot of free article there. We run a podcast where we release 1 to 3 episodes every week to help you with any aspect of your business and getting known in your field. And there is one thing, I put a link in the comments. We can put it in the Facebook group as well,
Yeah.
which is a free training on how to get featured on Forbes and other major publications. So you want to get out, you want to be featured on major publications. There's a 1-hour training on 5 different ways in which you can do that. So then you can find a way that works better for you. And the link is gtex.events/free Forbes training. So gtex.events/free Forbes training. And that gives you access to the free training on how to get featured on Forbes and other major publications immediately.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We'll make sure we share that into the Facebook group as well afterwards, so people can get that free resource. It is also worth checking. We've got some free resource in Women's Business Club at the moment. We've been putting some templates and bits and bobs in there, so I will put that link on as well to help businesses at the moment. So thank you so much, Simone, for your time today. And I'm so excited about watching your talk next week now, to get some really dig deep into them things about visibility, because it's so important. And like you say, once it's out there, that content is there forever, and it creates, like you say, this trust. And there's so many opportunities to go with that. So that's going to be such an amazing talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be full of practical tools. It's not just gonna be theoretical. You know the concept now, but then we are going to look at what tools that are available that are free to get in touch with journalists, to create content, elements that you need to have a profile that stands out. That's gonna be all in the masterclass next week. So looking forward to that.
And that's exclusive for our members. So if you are interested in membership, just go to womensbusiness.club/membership. There's online membership only as well, which is just 30 quid a month. So it's an absolute bargain, and you get all sorts for that. So one last thing then, do you want to leave us with, Simone, is you've clearly been through a heck of a journey and been really successful to get to where you are today. If you had to give anyone that's struggling at the moment, or feeling a bit lost or out of control, or I feel like they are in crisis right now, what piece of advice would you like to just give everyone?
Yeah, first of all, there is nothing wrong in feeling that way. I spend days where I'm feeling on top of the world, and I have other days where I'm there with my wife. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. and it's okay. It's okay. We are not supposed to know. It's the first time as well for me that I'm going through a period like this. First time, like, I think is from the Second World War that we didn't have a thing like this in such a scale. So it is okay to feel lost. It is okay to feel confused. It is okay to feel frustrated, upset, angry, whatever you're feeling. It's okay. And I think that would be the best piece of advice, because if you make those feelings wrong, then they're just going to come back harder and prevent you from doing the other work that you want to do. The second piece of advice that I can give is to, now you have a chance to look at the way you run things. You have a chance to look at the way your business runs. You have a chance to really show up for your clients and building a relationship, show up for the people that matter to you. In this period, there are going to be a lot of businesses that are going to go bust. There are going to be a lot of a lot of people that will quit. And those people that will quit, then will be forgotten. Even if things are hard, don't stop showing up. Actually double down on showing up. Because I found something interesting recently. I'm like, I don't have time to worry. It's really weird, but I don't have time to worry or be upset, or I'm so focused on delivering value to our clients and making sure that they are okay, and putting the focus on helping others takes me totally away from every other moment of where I'm feeling, I don't know what I'm doing, or let me test something new. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's about testing. It's about trying new things. But keep showing up for your clients, keep showing up for the people that you want to serve, and you're going to be fine. And they will appreciate that. They will remember you for that.
Absolutely. I think that's fantastic advice. Well, thank you so much, Simone, and we look forward to your talk next week in the Members Club. And thank you to everyone for watching. We've been Women's Business Club. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.